Hey everybody, I'm Arthur.
And I'm Jared, and you're listening to
Unheard of.
Brought to you by
All right, everybody, welcome back to another week at Unheard of. Here we are. We are finally back in video HD. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully, HD video and audio. To the left on your screens, if you're watching this on YouTube, will be my great friend and co-host of the show, ABG. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
Another week, another week. And our viewers will probably notice that my beard is shaved. Big drastic change from what I've been used to for over a year now, but it's going to grow back. And, I'm still kind of bummed about it, but it'll grow back. How's your week been?
It's been good. And as your counterpart, I'm rocking the quarantine beard right now. I spent about 5 minutes trying to get it straight, as you know. and my week's been pretty good, man. Just been working, trying to stay COVID free. Just living life.
Yeah,
What about you? How's your week been going?
it has been going okay. I don't know if any of our listeners or viewers know this because I'm not sure if I've spoke about it on the show. I was recently passed up for that promotion I was talking about, even though I've been filling the interim manager role for like 4 months now. So I'm trying to find a balance, and I'm trying to find out how you go back to being just a worker after being the boss for 4 months and then losing the job.
Um, I don't know, man. I guess you just go back to doing what you were doing originally.
It's I mean, yeah, that's what I've been doing, but it's kind of weird, uh, especially like losing the job to somebody that's been working with you, like on the team, for like a year. Uh, I don't know. I mean, the guy deserves it. He knows his stuff, and I'm really happy for him. But at the same time, it's kind of weird getting back into that rhythm of doing everything you used to before. It's not like a weird. It's not like a weird authority thing because I got no problem not telling people what to do, and now I don't have to be available like 24/7. But it is also kind of weird in a way. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting used to it, I guess, but it's been a weird week.
So so dude was on the team and like you were telling him like you were in charge of him and now the roles are reversed and now he's in charge of you.
Yes, but it's also kind of weird because most of the time I was in charge, he was actually gone for like National Guard training. Uh,
Oh, okay.
so yes, I was in charge of him for a while, but he wasn't really there most of the time. So like I said, he's got a bunch of knowledge and experience, so it's not weird that I lost the job to him. Uh, it's a weird dynamic to kind of fall back now. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I guess I'm I guess I'm just saying dumb stuff, but I think work will get back to normal really soon.
All right.
So
Um, I'm not in charge of the place where I work at, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I coming from, as people know, I worked at Captain D's. I was a manager having to deal with people, dealing with customers, telling me what to do and being in charge, but I'd much rather just be in kind of like a worker position, just like not having to worry so much about it. And especially if people don't get stuff done, then it falls on you. And so I just don't want the extra headache.
true. I do like making money though, so I will try to be a boss again in the future.
I feel you.
Um, but I mean, hey, you know what? We have got a new president this week. For most of our listeners, by the time they listen to this on Monday, we'll have had President Biden in office for almost a week.
That's true.
Is
Um,
is there anything
how do you feel about it?
Uh, I feel fine. I mean, nothing in my life has changed at all. I mean, I guess you have to wait a while, anyways. But presidents don't really impact your lives as much as people think they do. Technically, uh, I think Trump really only changed the rhetoric. A lot of people became more defensive about politics and everything. But ultimately, I don't really think it's going to affect us. I did enjoy seeing the Bernie Sanders memes after the inauguration.
Bro, they put him on so many places. Did you see the one where they put him on a chair from the beginning of
From the beginning of what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
I'm sorry, from Fresh Prince of Bel Air
Yeah, yeah, I saw that one.
on the cover of that one J. Cole album, 2014 Forest Hill Drive.
Yeah,
Like J. Cole sitting on his garage. Yeah, that's a good one. Like it was so good.
yeah. Bernie got some special treatment, man. He just showed up like it was another to do item on his list that day. Like he didn't even care.
Well, I mean, hey man, the Democratic Party did him dirty twice, so
It's true.
I'd be mad if, when I showed up too.
Although technically, I don't know what he's supposed to expect because in a way, I mean, obviously he's not as blunt or crass, um, or really just as he's really not as bad as Trump, but he's also his own party's Trump in a way because he's not actually a Democrat. Like his seat from Vermont, he ran as an independent and has been doing so for all the years that he's gotten elected. He just kind of runs on the Democratic ticket every time he runs for president.
All right, that's fair.
um, but yeah, it's a new era. A lot of things are kind of winding back, at least from the the Trump administration. Biden's got a lot of executive orders already in place. Now there's quarantines for international travelers that are coming this way to the states. I know he halted the Keystone pipeline already. I'm pretty sure he halted the building of the border wall as well,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it was a foregone conclusion that that was going to happen. Um, and now I think they're shifting focus to working on the third stimulus package.
Supposedly, I've heard that they're not gonna have that ready until like March.
Yeah, it might
I
be.
don't know if you've heard that.
I've heard it. I've heard February and March, but that's only because the messaging right now is Biden is saying that he kind of wants to show unity after everybody's been divided. So even though he's got control of both the House and the Senate, he doesn't want to like impose his will for like per se, kind of like Trump was doing. He wants to come to like a bipartisan agreement on the stimulus packages.
Well, yeah, but like I mean, he's still going to have control of the House and Senate, or the Democrats are still going to have control of the House and Senate in March. Like, I don't, I don't get the holdup. If that makes sense.
Well, I just said it's supposed to be because it's going to be like a bipartisan agreement, so they want to negotiate with Republicans for God knows how long to get what everybody wants.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be like that. It's going to be a very long, very drawn out debate about humans needing money. At the end of the day, that's what it is. They're not going to be like, but should we really be giving them this money? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's something. um, but I don't know. I guess we'll get our money when we get it because the government hasn't rushed before. Um, but you know, as Americans continue to wait on the stimulus package, we can shift our focus to other nice things, such as video games. I know you've been talking about the new Resident Evil.
Bro, yes. Okay. So they announced that the official date for Resident Evil 8, and it's coming out on May 7th. It's going to be out for, past like last gen consoles and this new generation of consoles. And it's called Village Evil so much. But I feel like they they are like the quintessential, the best horror franchise in video games. I mean, of all time. I don't know if you've ever played any of their games before.
I've played the first few, but I don't think I've played anything past like four.
Oh yeah. They have some really good remakes of 2 and 3 out that are they look amazing. They look stunning. They brought the story. They changed it a bit, but at its heart, they're all still the same, and they just look really good.
Wow.
But I'm definitely ready for that. And thinking about Resident Evil got me feeling a little nostalgic. So, Jared, I was going to ask you, what are like 3 of your favorite video games that you've ever played of all time?
Hmm. So I've said this on the podcast a few times that I'm a big story guy. Like I don't do a lot of multiplayer. So when it comes to games for me, I really like a good story. So I'd say in my top three, and this is from 3 to 1. Let's think. At number 3, I think I would probably put. Man, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. So I'm gonna go retro, and I know I just said that I love some story, but this is basically gonna go outside of story. Um, in my top three, my third one would be GoldenEye 007. It's a nice old game from the 64, but it's really one of those first games that gets you interested in gaming. So especially like as a kid, that's one of my all-time favorite games. I've even got a copy of it on my DS that I like to play, um, the remastered one, obviously. And in my top two, I'm, I know my top two for sure. Is 3 was a question mark. Number 2, I've got GTA San Andreas, and number 1, I've got Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay. So, what about San Andreas makes it like land on your list?
So the story is really good. in itself, but for the time that that game came out, it offers a ton of customization. So, you can literally that's when GTA really hit its groove on like buying houses and different properties. Um, it was almost like The Sims in a way because now you look at CJ and you take him to the gym enough and he can actually get his arms all big and strong. Or if you take him to the chicken place, I don't know why I'm forgetting the name, but you take him to the fast food enough and he gets fat.
Is it the Clucking Bell?
Yeah, I think it's the Cluck and Bell. But I don't know, and the missions were just so out there. Like you go from living like in a terrible neighborhood to like getting involved with an all-time rapper and like staying in his mansion. So I really like the story and the features in San Andreas. It kind of set the tone for what GTA should be.
Yeah, I like San Andreas a lot. It was actually going to be on my list, but I'm gonna change it now. but but because I feel like I have a few I can kind of swap. But I mean, I feel like San Andreas should definitely be on anybody if you played it right, on anybody's top 10, top 5 list. Um, I just messed up though sometimes, like that one where you have to follow a train and then you're on a motorbike and you got people shooting at you, then you could fall off or something like that, and then you just have smoke yelling at you, follow the damn train, CJ. And
Yeah,
so
and
that one,
it can't get much better than Samuel Jackson voicing the main villain.
oh yeah.
So it's definitely a great game.
But yeah, it was really good. Just the music on the radio stations and everything, like, yeah, I don't know if they could make a better GTA than that one. They got close with 5. 5 was really good, but San Andreas, I don't know, it takes a cake as one of my favorite games of all time, and like the best GTA of all time.
No, that's true. I think San Andreas is the best GTA game. Uh,
But and then we got Red Dead Redemption 2 as your number one, another Rockstar game. What makes that your favorite game of all time?
that story is just the best. It's so well written because I mean I know the story gives you options to where you could be good or bad, but literally at the end, you can literally find yourself crying with a video game because the character of Arthur is so well made. Like he's literally, it doesn't matter that he's like a villain because as soon as what happens to him happens, you know that you're kind of like on borrowed time. So it makes the remaining moments of the game, excuse me, sorry, it makes the remaining moments of the game like really count. Uh, so I found myself nearly tearing up at the end of the game itself just because I don't know, it kind of hits on all the emotional notes. The character has a full arc, like especially that last ride when he's riding with his horse, and the music's just playing and you're riding for like 8 minutes straight. You're like, oh man, this is it. This is gonna be a doozy.
Oh yeah, I definitely love that game. I don't know if it might not it doesn't scratch in my top 5. Maybe it'll be in my top 10. It could be in my top 10, but yeah, I mean, I for one definitely loved it, as probably any person who played it. But I love the customization and, like you said, making your characters good or evil. I uh, I don't know what it is about me, but I play video evil. So so when I was riding on my horse, I would always just like kill random people with my bow and stuff like that. Like I was a bad person, and So and like you can get two different endings depending on how you played it. And so I mean, I definitely got the kind of bad ending,
Mm.
but yeah, I think they did great. The game that um yeah, Rockstar, another Rockstar game. Rockstar really makes great games. They know how to do it.
It's true. Uh, I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to add a point to why I liked it, but I can't remember. Oh, the graphics in that game also are really stunning. How that captures the entire Wild West. Uh, and I'm a big fan of like Western movies and culture, so
Yeah,
uh, that's why it kind of does it for me.
and a lot of people complain about the game because I mean, there's fast travel, but there's no like it's not really fast. But I think that's what they did really well in the game.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it makes you get on a horse and you slow down,
I'd agree. I mean, I
and
don't know.
it really makes you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just agreeing because I don't know why people complain about fast travel. I mean, over time, I don't think you're going to want to ride 20 plus minutes to get to your next stop. You know.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just makes you because there's a lot of stuff to do in that you can do, and like I don't. It just making you kind of slow down and appreciate the game that they painstakingly made. You know what I'm saying? Like you can stop and hunt, you can stop and fish. So many things to do, and yeah, that's another thing that they did right in that game.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Um, but I mean, hey, what falls in your top three?
Whew, my top three. This I don't know. This isn't. I don't know. Mine might not be in any set order. This is just three games I mean that are in my top three, but maybe not just in the same order. But since you started out with a retro one that you played growing up, I'll start with one at third. I have Super Mario World.
Hmm.
So that was on the Super Nintendo, and I'll tell you, man, like we played that game so much growing up because like almost everybody in my family had a Super Nintendo, and
Yeah.
everybody had a copy of Super Mario World. And so, like, I feel like if you had a Super Nintendo, you probably had a copy of that game or played it. And so I feel like it lives with so many people. It's just a classic, like, you got your so many different levels. And if you wanted to, um, options to skip through levels and stuff like that, like, I don't know, that Mario game is probably going to be, it's my favorite one for sure. So there's that one. So have you played Super Mario World?
I mean, I don't think it's really a question, dude. Of course, I played Super Mario World.
All right. But so next I have The Last of Us Part 2.
Mm.
And I don't know, this might be a controversial statement, but I feel like they built on like what made that game so good in the first one, and they just turned it to 11, man. It looks amazing. The story is amazing. People always say that they may have killed a certain main character way too early in the game, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like the good parts of that game, the writing and the gameplay and everything and the story, they just they knocked it out of the park. The characters you it makes you feel for people who you may have like who you may have these notions of like they're a bad person or whatever, but it like puts you like in their pretty much in their life, and it shows you their emotions and what they go through, and so then you really end up sympathizing with those characters. So I feel like the fact that they could do that in that game makes it 10 times better. Like I don't know, I love that game.
It's a good take because it's good. It's a good game.
Yeah, have you finished it? Have you played it?
I've played it. Um, I haven't finished it, but I obviously know what happens thanks to YouTube spoiling everything.
You got spoiled by YouTube, dude?
Yeah, literally, I I got spoiled before I even had a chance to play it because I follow like IGN and stuff on YouTube. Uh, and literally, the first day the game was out, I'm scrolling through my YouTube feed, and here's a post by IGN. It says like Joel's death. I'm like, what? And it
Yeah, that
continued. It continued like literally, it had nearly the entire story on my feed. I'm like, the game's been out 1 day.
yeah, that's one of those games that like you basically got to start playing it the the night it comes out or the day it comes out, and stay off of social media. Try to try to get not to get spoiled as best as you can, because that's what I did, because there was a big leak at Naughty Dog, and so like pretty much everybody knew what was going on. They had somebody leaked cut scenes and everything, and so I just had to stay away from it. And like I said, I started playing through it the night it came out. So yeah, like I don't know. You gotta. There's certain things like some games, some movies, some TV shows that people are just gonna spoil it because that's what they do. And so,
It's true. I was pretty peeved because it was literally day one of release and I was getting spoiled.
but for my last game, and I mean, people might see this coming because I was talking about Resident Evil before, but my last game is Resident Evil 4. Like this game, I don't know. It may be my number one favorite game of all time because it just I don't know. I feel like it told a good story, and then it had a good setting with the kind of uh the like the village that it takes place in and everything, and the villains, the zombies. It was probably I think it was the first scary game I'd ever played before because I played it as a little kid, and I definitely had nightmares after playing it. And so I don't know. It's a game that I've played and beat multiple and still have fun.
Yeah, that really marks a good game when you can go back and replay it, a lot and still have fun. I I know we both talked about San Andreas. I bought I bought the digital copy for my PlayStation a while back just so I could play it again.
Oh, I have it on my phone,
Well,
I play it every once in a while. That's I mean I have a few other games on my phone, but that's like definitely the one I was like, if I want a game that I could have in my pocket anywhere I go and play it, um, you know, multiple times just for that feeling, it's definitely gonna be that one.
that's a good one. Yeah, those are some pretty good games that we've got on that list. I'm looking forward to seeing what some of our listeners might have to say about their favorite games. Maybe this fan page that we supposedly have might have opinions on this, or maybe they won't. Because I don't really know what goes on there. I don't know. I don't know what's happening on this unheard of fan chat. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, supposedly we are not invited to the fan page. We're not allowed to be there, but you know, I'm glad you guys have one. So that's cool. I never thought of there'd be a fan page for something that I was a part of. So
Yeah, and I'm really afraid that when we say there's a fan page for us, I'm worried it's not so much fan talk as it is trash talk, which is fine. Uh, but that's where my mind goes, since we don't know anything about the page.
yeah, I mean, hey, even if it's trash talk, it's still talk. If they're still listening, hey, yeah, we still get to listen from them.
It's
So
true. It's true. Even if you don't like us, you still listened. So
so shout out to them. Shout out to the Unheard Of fan page. If you're in it, we love you. Thank you for listening. Even if you're talking mad junk, thanks for listening.
um, yeah, I think for all of our
But oh,
viewers,
what's up?
well, I was no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna. I mean, I was just gonna ask you. Well, I mean, you got it. You got it, man. You got it. I'm sorry.
All right. I think for all of our viewers and listeners, again, this is probably going to be a really short episode. We know it's been a busy week news wise. Majority of the news is coming from obviously the new presidential transition, and we just wanted to kind of get a little nostalgic with it this week. We already discussed the NFL playoffs on our last episode, and hopefully our predictions come true, but we're probably going to be proven wrong this weekend. So when you turn back and watch this or listen in on Monday, you're probably going to be like, yeah, they were both wrong, because it's probably going to happen. Um, I want to kind of close out the show in a way that we've never done it. This is something new. I'm not saying it's going to be a tradition, it's not going to be an every show thing, but I'm going to ask you, Arthur, a question, and you don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it right now. You can think about it for the entire week, and it's also going to be for our listeners and myself. Um, and then we can come back, and it'll be the first thing we get into next week to kind of get the show off to like a jump start.
All right. What's what's the question?
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's the question. I thought I had another one, but I didn't like it, so I went with a different one. This question is kind of philosophical, so that's why I'm going to give everybody a week to think about it. It is, what is the purpose of setting goals in life if we're all just going to die anyways? So,
All right.
a little philosophical for you. I hope it gives everybody something to think on for the week.
I like that. We should do that. I mean, I don't like you said. You don't know if it'll be a tradition or not, but I don't know. I like that. Ended it off with a nice little question.
You know, give us a nice boost to
But
get into the next episode.
but next week, as we kind of wind down, hopefully, I'm gonna bring back some tales from the internet. So we'll have that and the an answer to your question. So
All right.
some more stuff to look forward to.
And as our listeners know, you can follow me on Twitter at Jared Evans. Hope to hope that you can gander, at my tweets one day. Maybe see the few things I have to say.
Gander.
I know it's a big word.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter at young the at young without the O underscore ABG. And you can follow us collectively at unheard underscore of pod. And that's gonna be the same thing on Instagram and on Facebook. Search us up and you'll hopefully find us. And YouTube, uh, follow a link. So yeah. You got anything for the people in conclusion, Jared?
I'd like to say thank you all for listening and watching. I know this is the first one we've posted on YouTube in a while. But we're starting to record earlier in the week, so that means we can do video more often. If you've heard audio issues, it's because sometimes my Wi-Fi sucks when we do video. So that's also going to be worked on. We're going to start probably recording it in a different excuse me, in a different area of the house. That way the Wi-Fi signal is a little better for the broadcast. And as far as thoughts, hope everybody has a great week, and let's keep pushing it forward in the year.
And for me, thank everybody listening, and from the bottom of my heart, and thank people who have been showing support. People have been giving us criticism. We want to hear everything. You know what I'm saying? I like to hear everything. So the more feedback, the better. So if you made it to this point in the video or in the show, I guess I just want to say thank you a lot for showing us support throughout this 30 plus episodes that and I don't know, I feel like it's still been a nice little process, so we're working on making the show better and better every week. And secondly, wear a mask. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say, so I just ended it with wear a mask. And that's gonna be it for me.
Yep. And as you commented, I know we're in season 2 now on our episode counts, episode 4, but this actually marks 31 episodes for Unheard of.
31.
So, yeah, and we're very appreciative of everybody who supports us. And as always, we love you, we hear you, and we hope you hear us here at Unheard of.
And once again, I'm Jared.
And I'm Arthur. And this was
Unheard of.
Brought to you by
The Big Bees.
Good.